Hey guys, Caleb from 3 to Pass here. Today I'm going to do my Oselargest deck profile. In terms of the quick start decks, as soon as I saw the art revealed, I kind of really wanted to make Oselargest. He seemed like the coolest one. The skill's pretty simple, but we're at this point now in his support where the deck's actually really fun to play, and it draws like crazy. So just Oselargest ride line, any starter you want, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. Soul Charge 2, draw 1 when you ride Oselargest, and then his skill on attack, Energy Blast 4, call 1 out of the soul, give it 10k, so it's guaranteed 4 attacks every turn. And then you can counterblast 1 and search your deck for Persona Ride in the event that they're not all soul charged. And then, of course, 3 Oselargest in the main deck, Persona Ride. You also want to Soul Blast him at some point. I run 4 Tilligan. You have to run 4. It's the main rearguard of the deck. When it attacks, you can Soul Blast 1 to give it 5k. If you Soul Blast Oselargest, he gets 15k. Of course, if he's the card called off of Oselargest, it's already 10k. This deck always Persona Rides, it's another 10k. This card can get really big numbers. And it has a skill whenever it's put into rearguard from Soul, you can Soul Blast 2 cards with different names and draw a card. So already we have part of our draw engine here, and we have 2 different ways to tuck him back in the Soul. You either want to open with this card or Soul Charge this card early on in the game. So if it's in your hand, don't mulligan it, keep at least 1. I run, in terms of grade 2s, for Sadigiros. This card made Oselargest a 5 attack deck, and the only condition is this card has to be retired during your battle phase. Counterblast 1 and call a card from Soul to Rearguard, and he gets 5k if you have a Vanguard with Oselargest. So usually you would want to attack with him first, so if they get a trigger, they can't really swing over it, and then attack with something boosted. Mind you, he doesn't give the card he calls power, so you want to keep his booster open. And then swing Oselargest, call something over him, and then use his effect to call something to the other circle. Usually I'll call Tilligan off his skill because Tilligan can already get power of his own. So off Oselargest skill, I'll call like a grade 2 or another Tilligan. If it's my first turn and I don't have a big soul, I'll usually just call the grade 2 because it's the 15k intercept if you have Oselargest for your Vanguard. You have to run 4 of this card. If not, you can't get 5 attacks. I run 4 full pigment dragon. When he attacks, counterblast 1, put a front row rearguard to the soul, and then draw. So it's a way to clear your board if you don't have Sadigiros to call over. So you just, whatever you tuck in the soul, the empty spot, you call out the card from Oselargest, so you're not wasting a rearguard just going to the drop zone. If you put Tilligan in the soul, you basically draw 2 because he draws you a card and he draws you a card. It's just really good. We Soul Blast a lot in this deck, which is kind of weird for a Dark States deck, but I can go through most of my soul in a turn. So I run 3 Skillful Entertainer. When he's placed, counterblast 1, choose 3 cards from your drop zone and put them into your soul, and that's really it. You're going to see later I run Flaming Pony in this deck, so if you discard Flaming Pony to ride, this is a good way to get it back into the deck, or into the soul. Along with this next card, 4 Haughty Peerage. It's the promo for Oselargest. If it's in your drop zone, when you ride Oselargest, Soul Blast 1, call it to the rearguard and Energy Charge 1. So you're guaranteed to get his skill because you Energy Charge 1, or 3 for turn, and 1 off that is 4, which I've never played a game where I had a turn I couldn't do his skill, so it's not too necessary. Its second skill is what makes it really good. At the end of the battle, that it boosts a unit with Tilligan in its name. Right now there's only 1 in the game. You put the column into the soul, so these 2, draw a card, and then choose a card from your drop zone and put it in the soul. I'll usually like put Oselargest to gain more power, or Pony to soul charge more. And then of course you're putting Tilligan to the soul, so that's another draw. So if you have this column, that's a guaranteed draw 2, which is very strong. This deck I've had like 14, 15 card hands before. Another card that helps with that, I run 4 copies of Forkalore. When she's placed from hand, Energy Charge 1, which just helps our strategy. And at the end of the battle, it boosted if you Energy Blasted 3 or more times this turn for the cost of a card. Retire it and draw. We Energy Blast 4 every time. Just be mindful that's not live until your Vanguard attacks, so be careful about when you're boosting. I usually either like to put her behind the Vanguard or behind Sadigiros, the grade 2 I talked about earlier. That way the card you end up calling here off his skill not only has a booster, it's going to be live to Energy Blast 4 and draw. 4 Pony, if it's soul charged, you can bind it and soul charge 2. If it's in your drop zone, either Haughty Peerage or Skillful Entertainer can put it back. So you can soul charge 2. This deck soul blasts a lot of cards, so you really want to soul charge. 4 perfect guards. If you have Sanctitude, put it in there. It's in Youth Perk right now, and it's going to get soul charged anyway, but if you have it, put it in there. I run 7 crit. This is something I've been trying with more of my decks lately. I'll opt out of the last crit to either put in a 4th front or a 4th draw. In this case, I put in a 4th draw because while this deck does draw a lot, it draws when you hit grade 3, and you need to see your pieces before then. And I'd rather defensively hit a draw than defensively hit a crit. So that's kind of my reasoning there. Running 4 heal, give you anyone you want. And then Dark State's over trigger. You could run any over trigger you want. It's gonna get soul charged anyway. I just had the Dark States one from like a Steel deck. And now I'll show you guys what I would consider to be kind of like the perfect setup in terms of drawing cards. So let's say you had your Vanguard Oselargest, Tilligan, maybe a Haughty Peerage you called from the drop, Forkalore, Gyros, and this is assuming you don't have another one to put behind the Vanguard. You could have a field like this with no cards in your hand, do Oselargest skill, search for a copy of himself, that's 1 card, swing with these 2, put them both to the soul, draw, Tilligan skill, mind you, you'd have cards in soul, draw again, swing with Oselargest, call something out of the soul. You could call out whatever you want, just call it here. His skill, call out anything else, mind you, you'd have a soul. Twin drive, you get 2 more cards. Swing, retire, and you get another card. So we just drew 6 cards in a turn, starting from 0. So this deck can draw like crazy. Just be mindful of deck out because you also soul charge. Most of the games I lose with this deck usually go to deck out or them just healing and perfect guarding me so many times that I can't get past because we don't have too much in terms of pressure. We have a lot in terms of survivability. Anyways, thanks for watching the deck profile. If you like Oselargest, let me know. Tell us what your favorite quick start deck is in the comments. And if you have any critiques on the deck, let us know. There goes my deck box.